Hi, I'm Sam Evian, and you're listening to Bothering the Band in a completely unbothersome fashion.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry I'm late. I had the wrong I went to a Google meeting instead of a Zoom meeting.
It happens. I feel like Google meetings are more businessy. This is going to be fun.
I'm relieved actually. I was a little worried at first, but
Sam, welcome to Bothering the Band, dude.
thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. My name's Ryan. This is Abby, and just wanted to start because this just happened to me a few years ago. A friend of the pod, designer of the pod who does all the graphics and stuff, suggested your music to us. We loved it naturally. Today, texted her, guess what? You'll never guess who's on the pod. I said it. She goes, who's that? This ever happened? Does this ever happen to you, like where you say something, you're like, it's like you did this or you said this, and then they're like, that's not true. And why is it infuriating?
I feel like I'm that person actually, to be honest. Uh, Also, it's funny. I feel like people sometimes, like I had a call yesterday when, uh, for like a production meeting, and I'm always amazed that people find me on the internet and want to talk about maybe working together in the studio or something. And then I get in on a call with them. I'm like, "Are you sure you got the right guy? Like, are you really sure you're talking? You want to be talking to me right now?" I don't know. It's anyway. Yeah. What's in a name? There are a lot of different Sams. So it's confusing anyway. Like there's my friend Sam Cohen, who's an amazing musician. Maybe you should check out him next. Uh, and then there's yeah, anyway.
Okay, so this brings us to our next thing. Abby and I have both had our respective kind of stressful days, and we both agree that your music is very soothing.
Hmm.
So the question is, do you have certain music, particular music that calms you down or you can put on to kind of zone out?
Certainly. Well, that's cool that you think it's soothing. I want it to be that. I want it to feel like a car ride or something, some energy that's calming. I listen to a lot of Brazilian music. Um, I think the melodies, like Brazilian pop music from the 60s and 70s. Caetano Veloso is like one of the you know icons from that movement, but there's like Marcos Bale and Chico Buarque and all these wonderful artists, Gal Costa, who passed recently. But there's like the arrangements, the studio techniques, and the melodies were so ahead of their time, and so romantic, and the language is so just Portuguese is so soothing, and like it lulls me away into a dream. So definitely recommend that kind of stuff if you're trying to relax a little bit.
Always. Day jobs.
Mm.
And it's not like we're like roofers or anything like that. You know,
Yeah,
ditch digging.
yeah, but everybody's got to hustle.
I will say I personally have, depending on how I feel or what the stress is, it's like something like your tunes, or it's like punk rock, like Idols or something right now, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, sometimes you gotta turn it up and get into some punchy territory.
Yeah. Um, Next question, and this is real dumb. What is something you are naive about?
Oh man, so much, so much. I mean, what pick a subject. I probably don't know anything about it. Um, I'm terrible at math. I'm terrible at science. But somehow I have like intuitive understanding of like machines, and I don't understand why that adds up, but it does. But yeah, terrible at oh man. I mean, music is I still feel like a child when I'm making music also. And I think since COVID, my brain feels, I mean, maybe a lot of people can relate to this, but maybe it's COVID or maybe I'm just getting old, but my brain feels like dilapidated or something.
Maybe a mixture of both.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, Evian is naive backwards. Is that why you chose that
Yeah.
question?
Yeah. It's only getting dumber from here on out. So
Perfect.
buckle up.
Perfect.
Like this next one. What is something you don't give a fuck about?
Oh, well, I'm supposed to give a fuck that it's like the first sunny and beautiful day and it's spring and I've been indoors all day. So I guess uh I've completely given up on any format of like physical fitness or taking care of myself in any capacity.
Uh, Great answer. Perfect answer. Correct answer. Okay, so here's the one we're ashamed of, and I hope it's a little different than what you've been asked before. How do you consume water?
I absorb it through my skin.
Osmosis?
Yeah. I'm a plant. I
Like for instance, I'm using this, terrible plastic, It's not
Mhm.
Poland Springs though. It's the Florida version of Poland Springs, which is Zephyr Hills.
Zephyr Hills.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's that Florida juice.
It's Florida Po Springs.
I mean, a serious answer, I live in the Catskills, and there it's like at the beginning of the water cycle, right? It rains, it falls on the mountain, it trickles down the mountain. I live on the mountain, so goes into our well, and I drink from our well, and it's further down the chain, it goes all the way to New York City, this water. And it's why New York City bagels and pizza is so good. And some restaurant, I feel like there's a restaurant in LA, a pizza restaurant that actually ships water from New York to LA so that they can make crust. I think it's something to do with the mineral content of this water.
Yeah, I've heard all of this. And so of course the water question is dumb surface, but then digging into your background in the studio and stuff, knowing you're in the Catskills, I was like, yeah, this is it. And I've lived in New York for so long. I'm loyal to Poland Springs when I'm there. Uh, so another question, how far are you from Corning, New York? Do you know Corning?
I think I'm about an hour and a half, an hour, something
Okay,
like
pretty
that. Something like
close. Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Wait, let me look up. It's Corning on Hudson, is that right?
It's just Corning.
Or it's just Corning? All right, let's see. Let's get an exact number for you. Oh, no, I was wrong. We're far away.
Oh, devils.
New York is so big.
So big.
New York, so Corning's on the Pennsylvania border near south of the Finger Lakes.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, New York's crazy big. I think of it like a giant funnel, and it's like, it starts at Canada and then it goes to New York City. And by the time you get to New York City, the population is so condensed um and crazy. But anyway,
Yeah, from the city, we have friends in Corning and it's a small hole in the wall town, so if I can talk about it, I'll jump on it. But yeah, it's like 7 hours from the city. It's super far. And we're in Florida right now, and we have the same where I'm in South Florida. And so when people are like, hey man, I'm in Tallahassee, I'm like, yeah, I'm not seeing you. That's a different country, dude. Like
Florida's crazy, man. I went there in the fall. I played two shows in Florida.
where?
We played in Orlando and we played in Fort Lauderdale. No, 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 not Fort Lauderdale. St. Pete.
Okay. That's more Abbey territory. I'm south by Fort Lauderdale. So, which we noticed, not on the tour, but maybe the next go around. Yeah.
St. Pete is like an hour from me as a crow flies. It takes 3 hours to get there, though.
Really? Because of water?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's great. Wait,
You
what
have to
town?
go all the way around. I'm on the direct opposite side of the state of Tampa and St. Pete, and you got to drive all the way around the swamp to get
I
over
see.
there.
Yeah, that swamp is crazy. Yeah, that was wild driving down there. St. Pete was like that, that pier at the end, it's the giant pier. I took a little walk out there before the show, and there was a band playing like at this bar. They were playing Lawyers, Guns, and Money, send lawyers,
Hmm.
guns, and money. uh, and then I got a margarita and I watched the planes land at the airport, and I was like, I get this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are moments. There are moments for sure. But then there's the moment where like, methy, stabby people
No, I don't like
inter
that.
interrupt you and
No,
um but I digress. So and you can feel free to jump in with any of your own suggestions here. Sam Elliott, Sam Neill, Samuel L. Jackson. There are a lot of Sams.
a lot of Sam's, a lot of Sam's. There's actually there's a guy there. So Evian is a pseudonym, and my my family name is Owens, and there was a Sam Owens who was also a musician. So I couldn't even use that name.
We got to fight that guy.
There are too many Sams in this world. I should have changed the Sam part. I should have gone somewhere else. My middle name is Griffin, but that feels like too medieval or something for a musician. I don't know.
Just Griffin though. If you ever want to do like a different sound, like like medieval ska music.
I'm working on my lute playing.
Griffin reminds me of when Garth Brooks decided to be that other guy.
Yeah, Chris Gaines.
Yes.
Totally. People would start calling me Griff though, and I don't know. I don't think I could abide by that. That would be gross.
That's the future Biff's name in Back to the Future 2 is Griff.
Yep.
Wow. Good shout.
Yeah, man. Okay, so did you pick a Sam?
Like my favorite Sam?
Yeah, who's your favorite Sam?
Sam Jackson.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I was happy to ask this question because we just watched a movie with Sam Elliott, and I'm curious if you ever heard of it. It's called The Man Who Killed Hitler and Sasquatch,
And then the Bigfoot.
and then the Bigfoot. Have you ever heard of this film?
No, I haven't, but I'll check it out.
It's on Hulu. It is nothing of what you expect. Not even, it's a little bit of what you expect, but yeah, not gonna.
Um,
Okay.
amazing. Yeah, I'm a big I love Pulp Fiction. I love Sam Jackson in that. I love celebrate his filmography for sure.
I mean, he's just the best. You can't not like him,
Iconic. Yeah.
the best. Okay. What's on your nightstand? Do you keep a bare nightstand? Is it cluttered?
God, too many things. It's we live in this house that's like it was made in the 70s and the bedrooms are kind of small. It's like kind of a cabiny vibe, and therefore just small bedroom equals not a lot of storage. So nightstand, oof, it'll be like books, like guitar picks, parking tickets, like whatever came in the mail, just like terrible shit. Like it's such a bad energy. Then every now and then I get really grossed out and I wipe it clean and throw everything away and don't pay my parking tickets. I'm still getting chased for parking tickets. I don't even live in New York City anymore and they still want my money.
Oh, they're gonna hunt you down end of
They're
the
gonna hunt me down.
they're gonna break in and start leaving them on your nightstand again. You're like, I thought I got rid of this.
For a while, I was like, I kept a journal next to it so that if I had a cool dream, I could wake up and write it down and turn it into a song or something. But that's kind of that's faded away.
Yeah, I mean, this is what the people want to know is what your nightstand is like, you know?
It's a good
Yeah,
question.
it is. I think it says a lot.
It says a lot about my moral and spiritual decay, like the state of the state of my nightstand. Like when it's really clean and dapper, it's like, yeah, this guy's in a good place. And when it's not, it's not.
And so in your home, in your cabin-like home, do you have any skull decorations? More importantly, do you have any golden skull decoration?
Oh, there's a shout. There's a shout. Well, we just went to Mexico and we came back with some really fun totems, one of which is a pretty classic skull figure. Um, Golden Skull, that song, it's been a while since I've thought about that song, but that I wrote it after someone gave me a mushroom chocolate that was shaped like a skull and wrapped in golden foil. And that's how I wrote that song.
That's cool though. It's
Yeah,
currently number 10 on your Spotify.
really.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny how things kind of I guess I have four records now and I keep adding to the pile and certain songs find their own life and come back when you least expect them and that's kind of neat.
Man, you gotta love that though. That's pretty special, you know? Um, does that count Plunge in that four or is Plunge five, right?
Plunge is number four. Yeah.
Oh, Plunge is number four. Okay.
Four records and there's an EP, I think. Um and yeah, there's like recently I noticed on my Spotify that there's a song called Apple that's at
Mhm.
number two. And that song went unlistened to for many years. Like I put that record out in 2017 and I feel like it had like, sub 100,000 plays or something. And then all of a sudden it's got like 2 million. I'm like, I don't know. The internet it's wild.
It is. And we have some Apple questions. Are you ready?
Yeah. Let's
No
do
kidding.
it.
Have you ever heard this? Shout out to big listener Abby's mom, Deb,
Deb?
with this wives' tale of apples curing like caffeine jitters. Have you ever heard of this?
Yes, I have. How, because raise your hand if you've had a caffeine overdose accidentally.
I'm having it right now.
I went to I went to work on this record for my friend Kazu, who's in that band Blonde Redhead, and
Hmm.
we were working on her solo record, and she was living in Italy at the time, and she couldn't make it to the States, boohoo, and so I had to go to Italy, which was my first time there ever, and it was amazing and such a dream come true because I have Italian roots. But so we went to Milan, and I took a red eye, and in the morning, I woke up on the plane, had a coffee, got to the airport, had a coffee, got in the car, got to my Airbnb, had another coffee. And then I got to the studio and everyone was kind of standing around the espresso machine. So I had another coffee. And these are all espressos.
Yeah.
I'm used to that American drip vibe, which is strong, but I guess when you have like 10 espressos, it's stronger, especially that bold Italian roast.
Yeah.
And I started feeling really weird, and I was supposed to work that day. So we were like setting up in the studio, this beautiful studio in Milan, and the assistant, who's an amazing fellow named Giuseppe, was like, "Man, you look really pale, and are you okay?" Like, and I was sweating like profusely, and I had to like basically lie down on this couch in the studio and just like shiver for like an hour. It was like a true overdose. Like I've never had a drug overdose, but I imagine it. I mean, caffeine is a drug, and it felt like that. My heart was going crazy. Felt bad. And Giuseppe was like, "I'm gonna go get you some apple juice, uh, because I know that apples have this caffeine uh, like have an effect on caffeine. I don't know what the chemistry is behind it, but yeah, way to go, Deb. You're right.
We're just corroborating. We've asked that actually. We're looking forward to ask that question because we've asked it before, and we've been looked at like we're crazy, and I want to believe it. So I'm because
I will say that I stopped, like I drank the apple juice and I had some bread and I stopped like shaking and convulsing. So it seemed to do the trick. It was pretty rough, pretty rough day, but yeah.
man, that just brought it all together. Okay, another Apple question. Do y'all remember Johnny Appleseed?
Of course.
Okay, I'm happy you say of course.
Do they not teach that anymore?
No, they don't. I tried to tell my daughter about this, and she was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" She's 9. I was like, "What?" And I like they were learning some other like fables or something like that.
Mm.
And I was like, "Oh, have you gotten to Johnny Appleseed?" And trying to describe Johnny Appleseed is insane.
It's this guy, he planted app. I mean, so was he a religious figure? Like looking back, I mean, because as a kid, it was just like this guy really loves apples and he's trying to plant the seed across the nation.
Yeah, I mean that's about as well as I did. And I added he wore a pot on his head.
He
You
did
remember
wear a
that?
pot on his head, yeah.
Yeah.
But what was he, Puritan? Was he
He was
some-
trying to plant apples somewhere where they weren't allowed. It's like Footloose, but with apples, you know? It's like,
It that name always makes me think of 30 Rock, but probably
Oh,
because I've seen that a whole long or too many times because Alec Baldwin's character shares a liquor locker at the opera with one of the Appleseeds, and his famous line is, "Oh my God, what do you say? The Appleseed family is notoriously litigious."
that's really good. That's a good show. They had some, that was a fun time.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but I mean, he's right up there. I think about lore from that period, like I don't know, 1700s or something, because we live in the Catskills, so our lore is Rip Van Winkle.
oh yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if they talk about him anymore either, but I like his story because it's just like, old man or maybe no, sorry, a a curmudgeonly, character disappears into the woods with his dog because he had a row with his wife and then drinks some mead that some elves give him, and it's so psychedelic. And then he comes back like 100 years later or something. I don't know, that's pretty fun.
That's Washington Irving, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Is that right?
I think so.
I think he wrote it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, so 1700s.
I mean, Johnny Appleseed, Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett, all those guys are in my mind like the same guy with different hats.
There's something dark about Johnny Appleseed, though.
I thought he was like a good dude. I thought he was just trying to share the apples with everybody.
I think so, but I just wonder yeah, I wonder.
Yeah. What's your favorite? We can go around the horn here. What's your favorite species, type, brand of apple?
Get what is it called? The gat well, I'm from New York, so I have to say, well, okay, no, I'm not. I like the Gala. Isn't that that's like the one, right? Yeah. I mean, New York has some great apples.
It does. It
Um,
does.
what about you guys?
It's Fuji.
Fuji, yeah. I gotta go Granny Smith. I like a tart. Put some cheese on it. Go nuts. Get weird. You can get weird with it. Granny Smith is weird.
Granny Smith is popping. We do stewed Granny Smith.
Oh, see, now we're talking. I also will say, being from Florida, I feel like I'm an idiot. And then I moved to New York, and I thought there was like 3 apples. It's like red, green, and the third one.
Candied.
Juice.
Apple.
Uh, and then moving to New York, I discovered there's so many fucking apples.
There's a there are too many at this point, and they keep making more.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like just wait till AI gets a hold of Apple production. It's gonna be insane.
Have you seen this man who's trying to save the apples?
From what?
So he has like single-handedly saved like 100 different species of apples
What?
because most apples that we have now today are, they've been bred together for years and years and years until they make whatever. And so this guy's trying to get apples back to what they were. And he found like all these seeds and stuff and started growing them like as they were. And he saved like 100 species of apples.
Is his name Johnny Appleseed?
I bringing it all back, by the way.
It's just John now.
Yeah, it's Johnny
Jonathan
too
Jonathan
archaic.
Appleseed.
Jonathan Appleseed.
So dumb. Welcome to Bothering the Band.
Oh, I'm sorry. His name is Tom Brown, and he has rescued more than 1,200 varieties of apples from extinction and has 700 types growing in his own personal orchard.
Damn.
That's cool. Y'all ever see anyone eat the core of an apple?
No, isn't that poison? Like, don't the seeds have arsenic or something poisonous in them?
I don't know, but this dude I play basketball with on Sunday mornings eats an apple like in between games and eats the whole fucking thing.
That's absurd.
It's gnarly when you notice it. You're like, "Did you just eat that fucking apple core?" Very weird.
I mean, I'll do like the skin of a kiwi. I can get
Yeah.
that vibe. Apple core.
I don't peel bananas, so
Gross.
I just eat
It's funny that you would say arsenic for apples. Here's a fun side note for you guys. Cashews come from a fruit and incredibly poisonous to people, animals, etc. Yet at some point, somebody figured out that we could eat the cashews themselves.
How many people had to die trying the fruit before they realized that they could have the?
Probably more than you'd like to think, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think about that a lot with because I'm into mushroom foraging, and I think about that a lot because there had to be many deaths for people to figure out, no, this mushroom's okay. This will turn your insides into your outsides like in a matter of moments. Like it's kind of a trip.
This is fun. We're having fun. Okay. Well, what's your favorite type of cloud?
Cumulonimbus. Is that
That
that's a
is one. There's a lot. There's a lot. I wrote down cirrus, cirrostratus, alto cumulus, alto stratus, nimbostratus is fun, and cumulonimbus would probably be the correct answer.
Nimbostratus is a great name though.
Yeah, nimbostratus. That's the name of the next record.
Yeah, Nimbostratus. Um, what are the big puffy ones called? The real big cotton candy clouds.
I don't have that definition in front of me, but I'm sure Abby can look it up.
I like those ones. Yeah.
Only when they're
That's the
pink.
cumulus.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So your studio is called Flying Cloud,
It is.
and I don't know the technical term here, but I do know that our friend of the pod, former guest, Palehound, recorded there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. L.
They've been on the pod and super fun. That record is fucking awesome.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, that was such a ripping record. It was so fun to record. It was just like, you know, L's such a shredder and great songwriter, and their bandmate Lars was such an amazing musician. So great time.
We talked a lot about food on that episode. Just food.
When we were working, Al had just been to Greece and had like learned because their family is from there, and so they came back with all these cool recipes that we got to try. One that totally blew my mind was Really simple, but I mean, we all think we've had a Greek salad, but have you really had a Greek salad? And a true Greek salad consists of taking an entire block of feta and just putting it on top and breaking it up with a spoon on top of the cucumbers and the tomatoes and the red onion and olives. And like I guess the purpose of putting the entire block of feta on and breaking it up at the table is so that your guests know that you're not like skimping out on them. You're like, no, like here, this is all the cheese I have, and it's going in this salad.
Oh, I would devour that whole block of feta right now.
It's pretty amazing. The Greek salad is underrated in the States. I feel like it's underserved, underdone, underrated.
Well, we always pull a quote, and that's a good one.
That's
We're gonna timestamp this.
solid, solid.
Greek salad. A lot of food quotes. Oh, we'll keep going with food here. So tuna melt or patty melt?
Tuna melt. I'm a OG diner kind of cat.
Nice.
Tuna melt's a I like it when you put a little thin apple in there too, if you want to get weird.
Ooh.
A little red onion. Yeah, I love a tuna melt.
I
That's
put
funny.
cornichons in mine.
Oh yeah, that's a good vibe.
Yeah, dude.
I was just in France. They have those all over the place.
See what we're doing here with these questions? They're tailored to some of your
I see.
projects.
I see.
Time to melt. Great, great fucking album.
Uh, it's always time for a tuna melt.
It's always time for a tuna melt. That's a good one too. 5:35 on the dot. Okay, growing up, did you live in a place, or do you do it now? Do you use the side door ever?
Side door?
Yeah, I grew up in a place I didn't know. I thought everyone did it, where you had the front door, but everyone went in the side door.
I guess like growing up, not where I am now. Growing up,
Either way, do you have any experience with side door action?
we went back door. We went back door.
Okay.
Back door. Back door kind of household. Uh, right now we have in my house currently. It's weird. There are two doors, and neither of them are in the front, and neither. I guess they're both side doors. I'm exclusively a side door entrance household right now.
I mean, we knew it. We took drone photos.
Maybe you had a feeling.
So dumb. Do you have a plunger in your home?
Yes, of course.
How do you store that plunger?
It goes into a container that goes into a closet. Yeah, it's tucked away.
Is it like a designed for container for the plunger, or is it like you're like, I'm just gonna put in this bucket when I need it?
No, it's one of those newfangled objects that it's all, it's inclusive. It
Yeah,
has,
it does that number.
yeah, they reinvented the wheel there.
What
That's
did what did we do before that? I feel like again, growing up, they just lived like you would use it and be like, I'll just set it right there.
yeah, I think that's true. Always in some dark corner in some strange closet or just in the bathroom. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, for hundreds of years it was like that.
Yeah.
Same with the toilet brush, but now those have a very, special. They're all over designed, plastic molded, you know, fantastic units.
This is how we win a Pulitzer Prize for journalism right here.
I dig it.
Right. Okay. Do you read poetry regularly?
Uh, Honestly, I mean, not truly not. No, I listen and I read people. I read lyrics a lot. I love Leonard Cohen's poetry.
Oh, who doesn't?
Like not necessarily his songs. I love his poetry. Um, but I'm not super into just reading poetry. Although sometimes I have a book of medieval poems that I use to get my brain moving if I'm trying if I'm struggling in a song. They're all hopelessly romantic and chivalrous, and it's kind of fun. But
Well, I didn't do this on purpose, but I promise you, I've loved your music forever. I published a book last year. I published a bunch of books of poetry, and there's a poem that mentions you in the book.
No way.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I kind of forgot about it, and then someone reminded me, they're like, didn't you, isn't? And I was like, no shit. And weird enough, yesterday when I was trying to find a copy of it, I turned right to it. It's very weird. So you're immortalized in another way.
Can I can I see can you send it to me?
I would love to send you a copy.
I would love to read it.
It's yeah, it's me and my daughter. It's called Hearts and Farts.
That's awesome.
Yeah, real deep stuff. But I'll ask Julia for an address and I'll send you a copy for sure.
Amazing. Yeah, I would love to see that.
Cool, man.
I think I'd like to read more poetry. I just get so engrossed in music and lyrics and lyric writing. But I mean, they're the same thing, really.
Well, your lyrics are very poetic, so that I just assumed it's all that medieval poetry. I'm
Yeah, it's the
assuming.
medieval stuff. I mean, I love reading. I read. I love reading novels, and I just yeah, I got to get into the true form of it, though.
Do you have any book recommendations for us?
I just read a really trashy, fun historical. I guess it's kind of like I don't know. It's half nonfiction. It's called The Wager. It's about
Oh yeah, I've heard about this.
yeah. I read it in the airport and like it was really fast and fun. And it's just fun to think about uh that era of explorers and of just this failed attempt to get around the horn of well, South America, uh, Patagonia, like
Yeah, yeah.
the Magellan, that route that he took. It kind of goes into that whole area, and they shipwrecked and had a wonderful time together on a on a vacant, unpopulated island with no plant life or food sources, and they expose their the concept of like being English quickly vanished. English being like civilized or whatever. It just completely disappeared within weeks. It was pretty fascinating. But on the heavier side, I love Murakami. I love
Nice.
McCarthy, and I don't know. I love a lot of yeah. Books are great.
Books are great. We love books. I buy more more than I can read. And The Wager keeps coming up. It's the same person who wrote The Killers of the Flower Moon, I believe.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's been coming up. I'm sure it's been optioned for a film.
It would be a fantastic film. I guess there's a what is it? Master and Commander. It's kind of similar subject matter. Was that Russell Crowe? No. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. That's pretty I haven't seen that in a long time, but that's a good story. But yeah, I mean, it's just the idea of like scurvy and they didn't know what it was. And it's just like you just start getting sick and you think God's punishing you and eventually they learned like, oh no, all you really have to do is just like squeeze a lemon into your water like every 2 days and you're like you won't have this horrible illness. Um, oh, my partner Hannah is here to collect my dog so she can take her on a walk. I'm just gonna Jan.
Yeah, do your thing.
Anyway, yeah, scurvy. It's fascinating. Shipwrecks.
You ever had scurvy? Okay. Do you get road rage?
Mm, I mean, my form of road rage, no, not really. I mean, I don't. My form of road rage, and Hannah always like, she's like, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it." When someone does a bad thing on the highway, I can't help but like look at them like when I pass them or when they pass me or something. And I just have to look. I have to like look at them and kind of give them a mean look.
I have to see the face of this.
And she'll be like, "Don't look, don't. You're gonna look." Again, like driving, like she's like, "Keep your eyes straight. I see you wanting to look over."
I mean, that's pretty tame though.
Yeah, I take highway safety. I'm a motorcycle driver,
Oh yeah.
and so I really try. I really take the. I want people to be safe out there, so they don't kill me.
Yeah. Please be careful.
Yes.
Everyone, watch out for cyclists, motorcyclists. Okay, when you jump into a pool, do you plug your nose?
No,
No. Wow. So jealous.
you do plug your nose.
I have to. It shoots up there. It gives me a headache. It's all in my brain.
You gotta blow out.
I mean, I do, but now I just plug my nose.
You could get one of those nose plugs.
Those nose pincher things.
Yeah.
There was a reason I asked that one, and now I can't figure.
Plunging.
Yeah, maybe
I do a lot of water activities. I'm a
water. Water.
watery guy.
You're in a spot for it. I mean,
How long can you hold your breath?
I don't know. I'm 41 years old. I'm not doing that anymore. But now I have to. I'll be right back, guys.
All right, well, let's see. That's radio silence.
Just dead air while we all hold our breath. Oh, and then the rest of the pot, they're like last 15 minutes. So,
I was doing it. I was doing this Wim Hof thing. Have you
oh
heard of it?
yeah, yeah, of course.
It's kind of how I got into cold plunging. And part of it, in addition to immersing yourself in cold water, is this kind of breath work stuff that he does. And I get I don't know, it's kind of culty. I don't fully subscribe to health cult vibe, but got into it for a moment there. And there's this method of kind of like you do several rounds of like exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, kind of hyperventilating. And then on the last one, you exhale all your air and you hold for like as long as you can. And the first time you do it, you can get to like a minute. Second time you do it, get to like 2 minutes. And after a couple of weeks, I got to 3 minutes.
By blowing out and then holding it, right?
Yeah, just it was and you don't think that you can. It just feels insane. Like there's no way that you feel like you're going to be able to hold your breath for 3 minutes with no air in your lungs. But all this crazy stuff happens. You start feeling your like blood pulsing, and it's really crazy. It's kind of it's a trip. I would recommend it.
Do you do that in the cold plunge?
No, definitely not. They tell you not to do that because you could die. Like you could pass out and then just drown. But you do it like in a comfortable, like lying on the floor or in your bed or something.
Yeah, I love a cold plunge. I really do. If I could, it's something I would buy for myself if I could, if I had the place to put it and all the accoutrement and shit like that. But yes, Abby's shaking her head. We've talked about this. I do love it. I feel, um, I'm gonna say it. After you do it, I feel stoned. I feel great. Like I'm like, it's pretty invigorating.
It is. It's stony, and it's like, well, it's because your body releases adrenaline and endorphins and a bunch of other chemicals, and you get all relaxed, but also like creatively stimulated. Your brain is charged, and it's pretty cool.
I am doing cocaine when I get in, but
Yeah.
I get in.
Yeah. No, it just heightens the experience of whatever other drugs you're on.
Oh man, it's just weed for me.
That's that's respectable this day and age.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we're all thinking this. We want to know. What are you eating for dinner tonight? What are we doing for dinner tonight?
What are we doing for dinner? I'm actually okay, so parents, my mom is having us over for dinner. We're gonna go have dinner with my mom. She's an amazing cook. I don't know what she's making, but if I guessed, it would be like some kind of like Italian adjacent chicken dish with like maybe some kind of really nice sauce and a side of like a Caesar salad or something.
Well, there you go, Abby.
It's gonna be nice.
There you go.
I guess I'll have to let you know when I get there what she's landed on. But
Yeah, yeah. Shoot us a text. Are you gonna listen to music while you're there?
yes, but she's she's got that boomer music vibe. She puts on her like Amazon speaker and she still listens to like Pandora basically.
I thought you were about to say Pantera, but
So she'll put on, I don't know, like Bill Evans radio and it'll play
okay.
just a bunch of, I don't know, it's like internet radio or something. She won't pay for Spotify. Neither of my parents will pay for like a Spotify subscription or like an Apple Music subscription. It's funny.
Oh, that's great. I hope it's like Peter Gabriel and stuff like that.
Oh, that would be cool. I mean, she's a jazzer.
Oh, nice. I mean,
Yeah,
that's fun.
yeah.
That's fun. That's fun.
She also puts on like she'll put on like I'll walk into the house and she'll have on Sam Evian radio. So she'll like she can't like say that she can't because it's like Pandora, you know, you can't it just automatic it makes this radio station and plays all this random stuff. So she ends up listening to all this random like indie music from this time period, which cracks me up. Mom, what are you listening to? This is weird. She's like, oh, it's Sam Evian radio.
I wonder what other bands are popping up there.
I don't know. Um, hopefully good ones. I don't know.
I'm sure she's like, I'm really into local natives. Like,
Yeah,
that was the first one that came to mind.
local natives. I remember them. Yeah.
What are you listening to these days?
Oh, what do I listen to? I mean, I listen to a lot of them. Like, I go into these intense periods of listening to other music that I'm not affiliated with, and but then I'll go in, then I'll get busy in the studio, and I'll essentially listen. Like, I'll be mixing and recording, and I just end up getting like every night I go to bed and I have someone's song in my head, and I wake up with the song, and I go work on it some more, and it's like I'm kind of in one of those periods right now where I'm just like totally engrossed in the studio work. I'm working on a record for this young gentleman named Harper Finn, who's he's related to the Finns from Australia, New Zealand. Crowded House was the band. It's a they're classic. That's like his dad and his dad's brother's band. But anyway, Harper's from that part of the world. So I've been working on his record. That's uh that's what I'm mixing tonight. And so therefore that's what I'm listening to.
Very cool. Who else have you recorded with?
Oh man. I mean the list is it's getting long at this point. I mean, I have, you know, there are some like figures that have become notable, like Big Thief or Cass
Oh, yeah.
McCombs or Blonde Redhead or but then there are some like people that are still like under celebrated in my opinion. Like Katie von Schleicher is a record that I got to work on a couple of years ago that came out this past year that I really love. Guy who plays guitar in my band, Liam Kazar. Hannah Cohen, my partner, has some records out that we just finished another one. Um, Helena Deland is a folk artist from Montreal who's amazing. Courtney Marie Andrews, a singer from Nashville or by way of Arizona. Yeah, I'm lucky to like my musical world is pretty wide. I have a lot of different types of artists that end up coming here to work.
Very cool. Enviously cool.
Oh, I just, you know, I'm super lucky. But you build it and they come, you know, you put up four walls and some microphones and in the woods and people I mean It's a really cool place to work.
We are a testament of that. You during the pandemic, if you just tell your best bud, "Hey, how do we become friends with our favorite musicians?" You start a podcast, and somehow you get them.
That'll do it.
It happens. And then the friend who suggested your music, you say, "We did it," and they're like, "Who?"
Who?
And
That's
then
so
we're
funny.
it's so funny, so dumb. All right, so the home stretch here. One, do you follow us on Instagram?
Do I get $1 million if I do?
You do. You do. And
Not. You do not.
Do you know that guy who's like, do you follow me on Instagram? And he gives people uh money if they do.
I don't.
No.
Followed.
Well, I will say, everyone follow Sam. There's a period in there, right? Sam dot Evian.
Love this.
Yeah, we saw it
Yeah.
today. That's so fun. Doesn't that just make you happy?
Yeah. Paul's my guy.
Oh, Paul's love him. I just love that he's, skateboard old school skateboarding in like loafers.
Yeah. Good look. Amazing look.
Oh, well, thank you. That's our plug moment. When does Plunge come out?
Next week, Friday.
Next week.
Yeah. March 22nd. Yeah. It's hitting the streets. And then we're touring in April for like a whole month, which is kind of nuts.
Well, on the next leg at Florida, Abby lives right on the beach.
I'm telling you, I want to get that gig on the pier and play cover sets and drink margaritas. That'd be pretty nice.
That's Abby's territory. She's right there, like a walk from the beach.
Amazing.
It's pretty dope. I have to say, it's pretty dope.
It's a good way to be.
Okay, what song of yours should we end this episode with? Because we add in a song on every episode, and why?
Well, I put out this song called Rolling In, and it's about, well, it's not about the beach, but it references the beach, obviously, because I'm talking about the waves coming. And it's kind of like my own sitting on the dock of the bay kind of vibe, you know?
Yeah.
Uh, and I used to go down, I grew up in Eastern Carolina. And I used to go to the beach as much as possible. Usually after school, I would drive down there when I finally got my license, and I worked at a marina down there cleaning boats. And it just was like a place where I could go to be, to commune with myself and nature. And I've always been a beach guy. So there you go, rolling in.
I love it. Look at you, so poetic. Okay, if you could bother any musician, live or dead, one, who would you choose, and what would you ask them in the vein of bothering the band? So real dumb plunger questions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would talk to Kate LeBon. Um,
Oh, nice.
I would talk to her about her favorite shape of pasta, maybe, or if she had to go on a themed cruise, what would the theme be? Or what color monster truck she would drive. I don't know, stuff like that.
That's fucking great. I would love if she's so like cool and artsy, and I would love if she just snapped right back with like the cruise question specifically, if she was just like the Impractical Jokers cruise, like,
Yeah.
something this wild.
She's amazing. She's my favorite living artist for sure.
I mean, she's crushing it. She produced Devendra's new record, and
Yeah, she did.
man, yeah, great answer. Fucking A. Okay, what's next for you? Besides the tour, beside anything else you want to throw out at us?
Oh, what's next? Um, well, besides touring, playing music, I guess I don't know. What's the next like health cult that I should get into and write a record about? I did cold plunging. No, I don't know. I'm trying to just keep it moving, you know. I'm committed to the hustle, and I'm making records here and trying to stay alive, all that.
Man, this has been a blast. That's our episode, dude.
Right on. Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Dude, thank you so much. This has been a long time coming, and the new stuff that's released so far. I can't wait for the record. It's great. Congrats.
Thank you. I can't wait to come back to Florida.
It's 5 o'clock, we're getting off, we're getting older, and there's no way home. Take a ride to the shore to see the ponies running. Is it real? Or is it just wasted? I can tell where life has gone. It's just getting harder and harder to taste it. And the waves come rolling in, rolling in, rolling in, baby. The waves come rolling in. If you walk outside, you can walk back in. The waves come rolling in, rolling in, rolling in, baby. The waves come rolling in. It's a Friday night in a different skin, baby. So you standing there, lonely in the garden. Made me feel like time left us hours ago. It's true, we've been in a better way. I slipped through in a lonely part of the day, and the waves come rolling in, rolling in, rolling in, baby. The waves come rolling in. If you walk outside, you can walk back in. The waves come rolling in, rolling in, rolling in, baby. The waves come rolling in. It's a Friday night and a different skin, baby. The waves come rolling in, rolling in, rolling in, baby. The waves come rolling in.